Hi guys, Aaron here and welcome to the workshop. Today I want to talk about my time trial bike and answer the questions I get asked about all the time basically. So I want to really cover those in detail in this video. So I've probably already seen this bike in some of my videos and to be honest I got quite successful with it, winning a couple of time trials this year. And so far it works pretty damn well, so I can testify that the things you can see here, they just work. So let's go over through some of those. So starting at the front of the bike, grip tape. I don't really use bar tape, as you can see, in any part of my time trial bike because that adds weight and aero drag. And when talking about the base bar, it's not even really safe or secure in terms of hold, particularly when your hands are wet, and that's not very good when you're doing full race pace, 50 km per hour, trying to set up for a corner. So I use this grip tape. What type of grip tape is it? Any regular skateboard grip tape, or perhaps this kind of safety tape they put on stairs and tile floors. Anything will do, nothing special, it's just grip tape. So that's to answer this question. Then for the wheel axles, I don't use through axle quick release skewers when doing time trials, because well, if you get a puncture, your time is off anyway. And these, actually, if you look at them versus a standard quick release, you can clearly see how important they are, particularly the front one. It's in an exposed area with clean airflow. It really just saves quite a lot of drag, and it's quite surprising to me that pro teams don't really use these kinds of axles, because well, they're not really a marginal gain, they make some really tangible benefits when it comes to aerodynamics. So these are made out of titanium and are made by an American company, View Speed. I think they are still available. There are some other options as well. I think Tune makes some, but you need a special tool for them. They have a real little nut. These work with a standard 5mm hex key. Then many of you have been asking about the wheels. As you can see, I have the ME 7.8 in my bike at the moment, and basically this is my time trial wheel set for now. I've had the 2 spokes. One of my customers wanted them and I've sold them. Actually, I've sold 2 pairs that I had, and it wasn't really for a reason that I wasn't satisfied with how they work. It just, I make my living out of selling things, bike related things, and if I have a customer, well, the rest. So that's the main reason. The other reason is, or the reason I didn't order some new ones, some new 2 spokes, is because there's something new on the market that I want to try. Then going further down the line, and to the back wheel, I want to touch on that as well. So there's a new disc wheel on the market that I really want to try, and I have it ordered. It's not one from the usual brands that I use, but it's wide, it's tubeless ready, it has a good shape and a good company behind it in terms of aerodynamics, so I think it will be the ideal solution for now. I wanted to get the MV disc, but that isn't going to be released for a while, so that's not the weight I want to pull through. Then talking about the tires, you can see that I have the Schwalbe Pro ones on there right now, and many people have argued, well, why don't I use the Corsa Speed, which is the fastest tire on the market right now, and it is, but nowadays I use it quite rarely, and that's for the reason because the speed, you know, it comes at a cost, and not in monetary cost, but in some of the features. So basically I never use this tire for any kind of road racing because, well, it's super thin, it's quite puncture prone. I've never actually punctured it, but you know, I wouldn't like to run that in a road race. And then the second thing is grip. I've had a lot of wet races this year with thunderstorms and everything, so in those kind of conditions this tire just doesn't provide too much grip. And in my last TT I didn't even put them on, well, for the TT, because I knew it was going to rain and the course was quite technical, and it was, well, on a mountain road, and mud and stones and all kinds of debris were on the road, and I just didn't want to risk a puncture or slipping out, sliding. So that's why I stuck with the Schwalbe Pro ones. Of course, on a dry day, on an out and back course, these are the number one choice. Then saddle wise, again a question I got at least 1,000,000 times. This is a saddle called the Dash Stage 9. It's made by a small American boutique company and it's excellent. It has a blunt split nose and it's designed in particular to get into an aggressive time trial position. It's also good for triathlon bikes, triathlon use, and it's super light. It weighs just over 100 and something grams, so it's kind of a boutique item, but it works for me and I really like that. Then another thing that has been brought up by some of the viewers is this little neat chain guide. It's made by Aerocoach, small British company who specialize in time trial and track equipment. And some people are suggesting that, well, why do I even use a chain guide with a narrow wide ring? It's a bit unnecessary. Well, it is, but again, same thing with the tires. I rather go for safety, because this, according to Aerocoach, and they do know their numbers, I'm pretty sure of that, costs something like 1 watt, aerodynamically speaking. And that's not really a sacrifice I'm going to make, because this way you have an absolute security of your chain not coming off with a 1x setup. And without it, well, it's a bit unsure, and oftentimes I ride TTs that, well, where the road surface is not really great. And now this bike I have here, I have set it up for a flat road race, so I have only one of these chain guides. Normally when I do a TT, I put it back on the TT bike. For training it's not really necessary, because, well, it's not the end of the world if your chain does come off. So that's the chain keeper covered. And then finally the gearing. I use 1x setups basically on all of my bikes now. The only exception is my road bike, where sometimes I do use a front mech if the terrain requires it, but quite often it doesn't. So anyway, I have a special chainring on my time trial bike, made by a small British company, again, Pyramid Cycle Works or Pyramid Cycle Design, and it's a standard product you can buy. It's a narrow wide time trial specific chainring, 58 teeth, so pretty large, but for a range of speeds from 45 to 50 km per hour, that's where you average in a TT anyway. It really gives the best chain line and the best gearing efficiency. So that's why I use a big chainring. It's not, of course, not about spinning out, because, well, you can do huge speeds on this one without spinning out. It's more about the efficiency. But I'm pretty sure I've talked about that in some previous videos. So yeah, these are quite niche products that I've shown you here. I get tons of questions about these because not many people know them, but I hope that this video clears up these products. I'm also planning to put a link in the description so you can find these and get them. If you found this video useful and would like to see more time trial content, in particular I want to do a video about pacing, because the ones currently out on GCN and other channels, well, they just suck. Don't really work. So if you want to see that, then don't forget to put a comment down below so I can judge the response to that. And if you want to see more videos about my bikes and how they are set up, then subscribe to the channel and stay tuned later on. Thanks for watching and see you next time.